I'd like to call to order our Citrus Heights City Council meeting for January 22nd, 2025. Our first item is our flag salute by Girl Scout Troop 559. If you have a speaker and want to speak at the podium, there's a microphone there too, if somebody is a leader of the pack.
We'll just do it in unison.
Okay, thank you.
All right, ready, ladies?
Too cute for you. That was too cute. Okay. Thank you, girls. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Middleton,
Present.
Councilmember Nelson,
Present.
Councilmember Schaefer,
Present.
Vice Mayor Lopez Taff,
Here.
and Mayor Karpinski Costa.
Present. And would you lead the video statement, please?
This meeting of the Citrus Heights City Council is live and recorded with closed captioning. It's cable cast on Metro Cable Channel 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast and DirecTV UVerse cable systems. It's also live streamed at citrusheights.net. Tonight's meeting replays on Monday, January 27th at 9 a.m. on Metro Cable Channel 14. And once posted, this meeting can be viewed on the city's YouTube channel.
Next item, please.
Next item is approval of agenda.
Move approval?
Second.
Moved by Schaefer, second by Lopez Staff. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Next item, please.
Next item is presentation number 4, recognition of Girl Scout Troop 559.
And I guess we have leader Sarah Bloom. Are you Sarah? Who's Sarah? Oh, there you are.
I gotta get up now. Hello. I didn't know I was going to be put on the spot like this.
Well, tell us about your troop a little bit.
So these are Troop 559. They're a second-year daisies, most of them. They're working on their government badge. So I was thinking that what a better way to learn than come to city council and see the ins and outs, how everything works, to get that badge for them.
Okay.
Thank you for having us.
Where are you from?
I'm here from Citrus Heights.
Okay, great.
Been here for 12 years.
Welcome.
My fellow leader, Jen, over there, she lives here also, so we've all lived here for a very long time. Most of us are residents.
Great.
Do all the little girls go to the same school?
We have 2 of them, then about 4 other ones go to the same school. And then, no, 3 of them go to the same school, and then 4, so, but they've been together for so long, they're all a bunch of group of friends.
All right.
So,
It's cookie time.
so we are doing recognition of what's. the
Yeah,
process?
and also to come down and we'll take a group photo with the Girl Scout troops if you want to do
A
that
group
now.
photo? Okay.
Great.
Face me, okay?
Don't leave yet. No, just hang on a second.
We were going to recognize scouting in general as a terrific way for learning and sharing. And I was a Girl Scout. I don't think there were daisies when I was a Girl Scout. I had 52 badges by the time I matriculated. Our city manager is a Boy Scout leader. Any more scouting stories?
No, I wasn't a Girl Scout. I'm delighted that you guys are here. Did you have fun? Yes. Did you get a lot of questions answered? Yes. And you're earning that badge, you know. Yes. It's awesome. Well, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
Councilmember Middleton, add to it?
No, I've always bought tons of cookies from this group and from others. I have like 5 orders out there, so I'm going to be flush full of Thin Mints all the way up until 2026.
Is it cookie time now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Last year for Tostiers, so you gotta stock up.
And this is our Vice Mayor, Mary Jane Lopez Taft.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I had a Boy Scout in my family, so I definitely believe in the scouting program, and I'm impressed that you decided to come visit us today for your badge. That is awesome. So thank you.
Thank you. And our newest council member, Kelsey Nelson.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for coming to City Hall today. You all are great business people, and I'm so excited for your cookie season. Thin Mints are my favorite, so I will be also stocking up. Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for coming.
My daughter Haley here, she is in 2 different troops, and so she's always the one that helping out with the little daisies, so she's earning her entrepreneurial and leader badge for her cadet age.
Amazing.
Well, we love to invite any of the scout troops to come and do the Pledge of Allegiance, post colors, or whatever, you know, to do such a thing. So always feel welcome to contact the city through our city clerk or Marissa, and we can arrange that.
Perfect. We'll probably come back when they're a little bit older, so they have more older questions as they grow. But we really appreciate you guys having us.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Wow. Is that the end of the meeting now, right? No. Okay. Next presentation, please.
Next presentation, number 5, is presentation by Republic Services for the poster contest winners.
Oh, that's what the crowd is here for.
Gonna make me go after that?
I was going to say, you got to.
Jeez, that's okay, because I have a whole group of talented students as well. So, good evening, Mayor Karpinski-Costa, Vice Mayor Lopez Taft, and council members. We are very excited to be here tonight. This is one of our favorite nights of the year because we have such a fun presentation. I'm Anna Ruan with Republic Services, your solid waste company that picks up all the waste for all 27,000 homes here in beautiful Citrus Heights. And tonight we're here to talk about our annual poster contest, the poster winners for the 2025 Citrus Heights Customer Service Guide calendar. Thank you, Mary. So this is an annual poster contest that we've been doing for many years, as long as I've been at Republic Services and even longer. And it's hosted by us at Republic Services, as well as the City of Citrus Heights. It is completed in partnership with the San Juan Unified School District and all of the schools here in Citrus Heights. And it is an art poster contest that is open for students in K through 8, and even students here in the city that may not go to one of the public schools as well. So this contest is for elementary, middle schools, as well as the K through 8 schools here in Citrus Heights. And we had 8 schools that participated this year, and 6 of those schools have at least one winner in the calendar. There are only 12 winners, although we had hundreds of submissions. There's also a grand prize winner out of those 12, whose art is not only featured on one of the months in the calendar, but is featured on the cover of the calendar. And we're also tonight going to recognize the school that had the most participation. So you are absolutely right. The big crowd behind me is here for this presentation. I have at least 9 of the winners here tonight. A few of them may have snuck in as well. And we greeted them out front with our big blue garbage truck, and they got to take some pictures in front of that before they came in. And we will be giving them a few things tonight. So we didn't want to take up too much time up here handing everything out, but I brought some examples to show you what we're giving the students. Each of the 12 winners is getting a very popular, highly demanded Republic Services plastic truck.
You know,
And-
I think all the council members should get one of those.
You know, I'm not allowed to gift you guys things.
Highly demanded. Well, you see when your contract comes up.
Yeah. And you can't get those trucks anywhere. They're only internal at our employee company store, although you can probably find some on eBay, but they're very, very popular. We are also giving each of the students their own submission, the artwork frame, so that they can take it home and display it proudly, as they should.
Nice.
And then what you will be helping us with, hopefully, Mayor, is handing them a signed certificate that they can also put on their fridge or display proudly. So I will be calling up each of the students one by one, and when I do so, I will have them please come up here. And Mayor, if you could come down and help us, we will give them their certificate.
Let me know.
Yes, now would be great. And family members, feel free to come up in the aisles and take some photos. And students, please stay up here after we call your name, so that way we can get one group photo, and I'll invite all of you guys down at that time. So the prompt this year was, who is your recycling hero? We like to change the prompt a little bit each year so that we get a variety. And the first winner is from Lycan K-8 School, who had 1 winner. And that student is Andre P. in 7th grade, and he is displayed in March. And I'm not sure if he's here. He was one of the ones I didn't grab. Okay, we will move on to the next.
Your winners, repeat winners from last year's calendar?
I don't think so, at least not last year. We've had repeats before, but I don't think this year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, from Skycrest Elementary, we had 4 winners, and the first one is Allison A. in 4th grade, and she is featured in January.
Yay.
You could do it right here, and Megan will hand them to you, and then you can hand them to the student. Sorry, it's clunky every year. You'd think we'd get it right after 10 years. Fantastic. And you can stay right up there, Allison. And our next winner from Skycrest, 4th grade, is Dana H., who is featured in February. And Dana even has color-coded bins.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, it's okay. It's probably at the seat. That's all right. We just get a picture of the certificate. Oh, there we go. And the next winner from Skycrest, Anastasia K. in 5th grade, and she is featured in the month of May. And Anastasia has 2 recycling superheroes in her art. And our last winner from Skycrest is Daniel R. in 2nd grade, featured in December. All right, and those are our 4 winners from Skycrest. And the next school is Woodside K-8. We have 1 winner from Woodside, and that is Amelia P. in 6th grade. And her art is featured in the month of September. And we have extra calendars, so if folks want to grab some extras for friends or family who didn't get one, feel free. And our next winner is from Kingswood K-8, and that is Leah P. in 5th grade, featured in June. And she's not here, so we'll go on to the next one. From Cambridge Heights Elementary, we have 4 winners. Kate N. in 4th grade, featured in April. And our next winner from Cambridge is Harper B. in 5th grade, July. And Harper's art features her dogs. Very cute. Our next winner is Savannah B. in 1st grade, who's featured in August. And her pop is her recycling hero. Very cute.
Cute dress too.
Yes. And our last winner from this school is Valeria P. in 1st grade, whose art is featured in November. Her artwork features a recycling cape that I have, that recycling cape.
With a tornado, look at that.
We have one winner from Carriage Drive Elementary School, and that is our grand prize winner, who is featured on a month and the cover. And our grand prize winner is Juanalyn F. in 5th grade. And it looks like her art features me picking up recycling and being exhausted as usual. All right, and we will take a group photo. And I would love to invite the rest of the council down for a group photo. And we'll probably need a squeeze, so.
So we're gonna have you guys scoot over this way so you're down in front of the podium.
We might need to do 2 layers or 2 levels.
Mine doesn't do a wide angle, so I'm just push them in as much as we possibly can.
Okay, Allison, could we have you come to the front? And we will have you scoot up.
One of us has to go into the middle. Yeah. Right? Hopefully the 2 cameras will get one.
Excuse me, ma'am, can I get you guys to back up just a little? Sorry. You're fine there. And then council members, can do them all close. Okay, everybody go up. Over here.
And you can all take your seats. And one more round of applause for all of those students. And before I finish, I would just like to acknowledge the school that had the most participation, and that was Cambridge Heights. So we would like to do a huge thank you to all of the schools who participated and the San Juan Unified School District and staff here at City Hall for helping us out. And that is our presentation. Thank you.
I have to say, Anna, this is the time when I think your job is enviable. Mary, did you help pick these winners? Okay. Because some of them are very good.
Yeah, it's a team effort where we get hundreds of them. We do like a first looking through some of them, and then we send them to Mary and her team, and then you guys get to look at them.
How tough a decision this must be, because
It's very hard.
these
Yeah.
are
They're great every year.
talented kids. Nice.
Yeah.
Now there's nobody here. So while we're waiting for you can read the process for public comment?
So the next item is public comment, and if you wish to address the council during the meeting, please fill out a speaker sheet and give it to myself, the city clerk. When you're called upon to speak, step forward to the podium and state your name for the record. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes each, and the mayor has the discretion to adjust the allotted time. There is a countdown display that will flash red at the end of the allotted time. Consistent with the Brown Act, the council is prohibited from engaging in a discussion or taking action on any item not appearing on the agenda.
Thank you. I have 4 speaker sheets. I'll take them in the order I got them. And the first one is Mr. David Shelton.
My name is David Shelton, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and members of Council. I want to briefly touch on 3 items tonight. Number 1, Sunrise Mall. Number 2, neighborhood meeting revival and neighborhood watch groups. Number 3, problem-oriented policing, that is Citrus Heights Police Department officers. First, I started working for Factory Mutual in Marin County in 1968. One of the first on-site inspections I personally did was the Sunrise Mall. It was a futuristic new concept for malls. 3 anchor stores all together. Now, in 2025, Citrus Heights plans a new concept for our city to have a destination for visitors with a hotel on the premises. There was a presentation at the January 16th PONA number 5 meeting. The developer plans were focused on the Sears end of the mall and along Sunrise Mall, but there were no new ideas, only concepts. It was a Home Depot, many small drive-up restaurants in the prior Sears area. There was no discussion of the Macy's end of the property. We need to have neighborhoods contribute to the planning for the future new mall look. We do not need many fast food kiosks. Second, my Park Oaks neighborhood number 5 had 18 people attend the January 16th meeting. Mary Poole with Citrus Heights was there to contribute the city planning for enforcement of the trash pickups by Republic Waste. If people put their items out too early, there were times the streets were not properly cleaned by the sweeper, since the trash is now an obstacle. There were several comments on the click and fix use to keep the neighborhoods clean. Maybe neighborhood watch groups can be formed, and this will assist in better handling of my issues on fireworks and gunshots during celebrations. My third and final item for tonight is problem-oriented policing. I will return to a single topic at future council meetings, but these 3 are planned to be topics developed in more detail depending upon developments. Problem-oriented police officers in 2002, when I first moved to Citrus Heights, I by chance moved into a house built in 1968. I didn't plan it that way, that's just the way it was. So there wasn't much here in 1968, and today it's very, very different. It's a small world, so the POP officers was a new thing. The current chief of police for Citrus Heights was one of the Area 5 POP officers in the very beginning. They provide residents with a cell phone number and email address, and we can contact them. As a direct contact with the Citrus Heights police officer, there was a man and a woman team focused on correcting problems when they're small. This worked to have neighborhoods become directly involved in hearing the other items of policing: canines, Folsom prison tours, ride-alongs. I enjoyed my ride-along. Got to see really what is involved in policing. They have to be all kind, not just police officers, psychiatrists. I won't go into that. And then a tour of police stations and other items. I commend the police department for the positive action that they take. Thank you for letting me participate in council meetings.
Thank you, David. Our next speaker is Melissa Hayden.
Very well done, especially the first item on your agenda.
Hi, everybody. Last week we talked, or not week, last city council meeting, I was here. I sat quietly. I wanted to listen to any changes we might have, concerns, or with animal services. I did like what I heard. I do have some questions. I'd like to see possibly somewhere on a city website or something more detail on how the chip works for free. I know it was discussed that it's at the PD now and possibly in the future will be here, so I just am questionable about that. Is licensing required prior to getting the free chip? Just a few questions on how that works. I know you guys can't do answers and questions here, so let me get into this. So the other night they also discussed some of the programs, which is 311. So the other night on January 16th, there was a loose Akita in the Lichen area. There were many, many calls. I was able to reach out to some of the people because I wanted to know personally myself what happened. On January 16th, I have documented 7 calls into 311. One of the comments from one of the girls, they could not come here, and I'm sorry, I know you guys want to hear it from somebody else besides me. I get it. I don't want to hear me either. But there was the exact address. I'm not going to go into the address. I called 311 and spoke to the operator, Pam. She said that this part of Citrus Heights is not the Sacramento County area. So this is just something we need to look at. However, she forwarded my information to the agency responsible. She mentioned the dog had been reported several times to 311, and each time she's just going to forward him to the other agency. We don't know who that is. Regardless of that, so that was one of my biggest concerns on how that started. The first person who encountered the dog was right before 5 p.m., which is when the first 311 call went out. She got there because she was on her way to get groceries and dinner. She went back after dinner with treats to see if he was in the same spot, which he was. I tried for a while to gain his trust, but I felt like I did not because the growling scared me despite his tail wags. I went back at the end of the night and called 311 again that night, and I got Pam. If he is still there, I will try again, but no luck. So I left him a bowl of food and water, which was very nice. So with these calls that went in, 2 of the calls were made to animal control, which then forwards to 311 as well. In a total, not to get too detailed, but there were 9 calls that I was able to document through screenshots and time frame. If you guys want those, I wrote them all down. There were actually only 2 calls logged. Post, just so you know, there was 3 posts on Facebook, 2 posts on Ring, and 1 on Nextdoor. The first night was January 16th. That was done, and that was right before 5 p.m., as I stated. And so let's fast forward to the next day. I see that it's being posted again on the Ring doorbell app, and I get concerned. So I sent it to my friend, and she actually calls me freaking out. She said, I'm trying to walk my kids to school, and this dog is out here running around the neighborhood. I'm scared. What do I do? I said, I'll be right there. Follow the dog. So I went out, and I was able to secure the dog. The next call that went out, she called at 8:30 that morning on the 17th. I called again at 8:34, or at 8:31, and then again at 9:03 once I had secured the dog myself. So why am I going over how many calls were made to 311, what is this doing, why, where's the error? So I got kind of frustrated and I did my own homework. I contacted 311 and I spoke to the operator, Mustafa, and I said, what happened? How did this go wrong? Where was the error here? So the first calls that were made to 7121, some address out there, I don't want to give people's address, sorry about that, where the first call was recorded. The call that they actually recorded was at 7:48 p.m. and they never dispatched the call because all the calls that were called in that night on the 16th were that the dog was laying on a lawn, just a stray dog. So it wasn't dispatched as important or concerned, so they never even dispatched it to Animal Services or Bradshaw. So that's why a lot of confusion might go through. The next morning,
Can you wrap it up, please, Melissa?
yes, I'm almost done.
5 minutes is up.
So the next calls were on the 17th, the morning of the 17th, that were us.
Wrap it up, please.
Huh?
Can you wrap it up, please?
Yes, I'm trying to. So that call, they only log one call. They say if there's any duplicate calls, they automatically dispatch them off the board. So I guess that's,
We've gotten your emails. I think we get the message.
I didn't get an email. I didn't do an email.
Thank you, Melissa. The next speaker is David Warren.
Good evening. This last weekend, I had occasion to walk through the Crosswoods, and I noticed a number of the fire hydrants in our community bear rust marks, significant rust marks indicating water leakage, et cetera. This evening, I received a phone call from 3 of my friends who live in Southern California. There's a new fire in Castaic, and one of their houses burned, and 2 more are being threatened. I think our water system here in Citrus, in my neighborhood, is at least 25 years old, and I'm sure there are other neighborhoods which are far older. If they're bearing rust marks on the fire hydrants, I think it's time that the city take a look at the infrastructure and make sure we're safe. I would have never thought that in a suburban community I would have the fear of fire, but having seen what's happened in Southern California, now I cannot have that confidence. It's not that I doubt the fire department. I think that we need to take a look at the infrastructure and make sure it's still sound. I would ask that the city direct staff to make sure that there's been a recent survey of the fire hydrants in the water system to make sure that it is in a state of failure just because of age. I have one other issue. I've been following the developments concerning the redevelopment of the Sunrise Mall. I am very concerned that the city is not being sufficiently aggressive in standing up to make sure that the development is in the best interest of the city and not in the best interests of the developer. I keep watching proposals that are coming by, and it truly frightens me that we're going to end up with short-term benefit for the developer and long-term loss for the community. We need to have the continuing revenue source on that property, and the development as proposed is not going to come close or even match what the Sunrise Mall should or could have represented. So please, let's make sure that maybe we're not going to get 100% of what we want, but it is not the developer's choice. It's our community that has to be the first concern. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, David. Our final speaker is Mr. Ethan Conrad.
Good evening. I'm here to touch base relative to the progress on.
Is that microphone near you so we can?
Sorry.
Is it too short?
I'll go a little lower.
That's better. That's much better. Thank you.
So as you know, we were originally planned to present to the City Council this evening for the specific plan amendment for Sunrise tomorrow. And based on the delays relative to meeting with the associations, so neighborhood associations, in turn, that's made it so that we requested being postponed for approximately a month, hopefully for February 26th, that we'll be then ready to have to present at that time based on having the neighborhood association input. So we've met with two of the associations, neighborhood associations, one last night and one last week. The one last night was very productive. It was about 50 people, and including Vice Mayor. I understand you were there. And it was very productive. And so we're meeting with the rest of the associations here before the next, our requested city council meeting on September 26th. And the goal is, of course, to get the community involvement, which is what we're getting. And we've actually modified our plans, I think, 3 times based on community feedback from various parties and in trying to implement as many of the suggestions that we received. Also, we have a website that's now open that we have all the materials there. We're distributing all the information to the various associations and community members, which I think is highly beneficial. So I'll work with Ash Finley to reschedule, but hopefully we can, I'm confident we'll have all the community input we need to represent on your next city council meeting, the later city council meeting in February. So February 26th, we'll be ready to go. All right.
That's it?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I do have one more speaker for Debbie Nauman. Did I say your name right?
It's Debbie Naiman,
Name it. Thank you.
and I work at Macy's. I'm only here because this was supposed to be on the agenda, was that mall. I have probably I'm a real estate agent also at Security Pacific for 35 years. I live 5 minutes from here. We need to do something with that mall that is good for our community, not in and outs. I don't know what they're going to do, but it needs to be addressed. I had a customer from Macy's. I never thought in a million years I would work at Macy's, but I did to get extra money in September, and I loved meeting the people. You have no idea how many people walked that mall. Many people today, probably 20 of them, were in tears because the mall is like it is, and nobody knows what's happening. It's been going on for years and years. It needs to be addressed. Mary, can't remember her last name, came running in tonight at 5:15 and said, "This has been off the agenda. You don't even have to go." I'm here. I live in this community, and something needs to start happening. And I hate Macy's closing. I hate it. I absolutely hate it, and I think all of us hate it. But I'm only voicing my opinion because something needs to happen. Instead of talking behind closed doors and talking about the developers, talking about the owner, we need answers. Thank you.
Thank you. That's it. Are there any other persons that want to participate in the public comment period? Okay. Next item, please.
The next item is comments by council members and regional board updates.
I'll start with Ms. Kelsey.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have done quite a few things since our last meeting. Firstly, I attended the Chant meeting, which is area number 3. Congratulations to the new board members that were elected at that meeting. If you live in area 3, the meeting is every second Tuesday of each month here at City Hall in the community room just across the hallway here. The next day, I went to have a sneak peek at Kaiser's Pace Center in the Arden area. I was invited by their leadership there, and it is a brand new medical facility. It's a full service inpatient facility. And it's for seniors 55 and up who qualify for nursing facilities but live at home. So if you know of anybody who could qualify for that, it's an excellent facility, and I recommend taking a tour. It'll be a really good feature in our area. They open, I believe, next month. And then I attended the Sacramento Association of Realtors installation and celebrated their new board. As a former realtor myself, I really appreciate the group of them that are involved in the association. It's a group of people who don't just do the business for the money, but they work really hard to give back to the community and to lobby the government on the state and federal level. So it's pretty cool. I was glad to be there, see some old friends. And then today was the first day of the League of California Cities training for new council members. So I had a full day there today with our city manager, and I'll be back tomorrow and Friday for the rest of it.
You'll learn a lot. Councilmember Schaefer, what have you been up to?
Well, thank you, Mayor. So, let's see, so our last meeting was on the 8th, so on the 13th, I had an RT board meeting. It was really relatively uneventful, other than we had a closed session meeting I can't discuss, but that was the gist of what that was. Then at 8:30 in the morning, I met with Mr. Conrad. And in spite of what I have heard from friends that have attended his meetings, I have not in no way, shape, or form endorsed his program. That's remains to be decided when we hear everything that needs to be in front of us. And then that same night, I attended the Arden Arcade, the Arcade Creek neighborhood area meeting. It was very good. I was fortunate to be invited there, and it was a great group of a great group of folks. I had some new members there. I think that the postcards that went out have been very effective with bringing some new people into the fold here. So then on the 16th, I had a SACOG meeting. That was our first meeting of the year. Lots of new board members coming in, lots of new board orientation. We have a big year ahead of us to go. So for those who don't know, and Alfred Sanchez, if you're watching, SACOG stands for Sacramento Area Council of Governments. This is a 31-member board meeting with 26 cities. And so, let's see, then I had a meeting here on the 17th. It was a closed session. And that brings me up to date. I do want to comment a couple of things on, with regard to some comments that were made about Sunrise Mall. It may not look and appear that we are doing anything, but I can promise you, there's a lot of legwork happening around the Sunrise Mall. It's a tremendous effort that was put forward on the part of the city. Like I said, just because you don't see any bulldozers out there does not mean that there's not people working hard to effect a change there. So, and I certainly would ask the city manager a question with regard to the fire hydrants. Whose responsibility? Is that responsibility of Metro Fire to make sure those are functional, or is that the responsibility of the city?
Yeah, it would be something that would be in combination of Metro Fire and the water purveyor. So if it's Citrus Heights Water District or Cal AM or Sac Suburban, but it's something that we definitely will be passing along to the respective agencies.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that we are at City of Trees, and we're susceptible to wildfire in that respect. So I certainly would support Mr. Warren's assertion that we need to be prepared. So with that, I will pass it along to the next person.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Middleton.
Okay, so my board meetings don't have until tomorrow, so you have to wait until the next council meeting to hear about air quality and the library.
Yeah, Mr. Dickinson, can't wait to have you there.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. It's always a good time. I also, this past couple of weeks, we spent a lot of time in our community going to those local schools, and we've been delivering pens, paper, notebooks, all kinds of stuff. And I know it sounds weird to talk in January about school supplies, but I learned from the Avid kids over at Mesa Verde that actually this is the time when they really need those supplies because the kids come back from winter break and they're out of those things. So my husband and I went. It was hard for us to find. We had to go to Amazon and lots of other places to gather this stuff and give it to the high school class. We're trying to gather up supplies as well to go over to Carriage and Sylvan. These are schools that we support because our children have attended them, and we want to make sure that if anyone else is thinking about how can they give back to the community, school supplies, right now, they really need
Is that
them.
a Kiwanis project?
This is a Portia Middleton and Ben Middleton project, so if anybody that wants to help with their pennies will be great.
That's nice. Maybe the neighborhoods would help out.
Maybe?
Is that it? That was it. Vice Mayor Lopez Taft.
Thank you so much, Mayor. It's also been a light meeting schedule for me. I happened to attend the SAC Metro meeting on behalf of Councilmember Middleton.
Thank you.
And I have to say, that was a very interesting meeting. They have a lot of activities. They awarded some grants to young people to do certain types of videography and videography training. And I think that is really excellent, considering this age of podcasting. There's so much that young people can do, and the Metro Cable does that, and that was really, really interesting. So they still have awards that they are giving, and so SAC Metro Cable, I believe, is where you can find that information if interested. I did attend my neighborhood association meeting, Chasen, Citrus Heights Area 7, 8, and 9 last night, where Mr. Ethan Conrad did present. And it was heartening to hear the engagement from our residents in giving their opinion. I think that is the most important thing we can do to aid the process right now. Make your voice heard, because you engaged in a process with us to develop Sunrise Tomorrow plan. And now we have a concept coming from someone who speaks to that plan. And I think the more we engage, the more robust the conversations can be, and the more harmonious to what is heard can be incorporated. And I'm very much a be part of the process. You have to be in the room to affect change. So I appreciate all the citizens who came out. I saw a fuller room. There were about 75 people in that room. We had a lot of seats in there, and we were shoulder to shoulder. And I love seeing that. We have a very engaged neighborhood area, and you really saw that last night. So thank you. And our leaders are in the room, and I thank you for leading our group. That's it for me.
That's it. Well, I have, let's see, since the last council meeting, the mayor gets to be invited to the criminal justice cabinet. Generally, the mayor delegates that to the chief of police, which I do, but I just wanted to sit in and see what goes on and look at the roster. I was very impressed, as I am, besides being a veterinarian, I am an attorney, so the attorney part of me says, you went to law school for something. So it's nice to see judges' names and all these other things. And the topic was a number of people who miss their misdemeanor arraignments. They don't show up for their misdemeanor arraignments. It costs a lot of money to the courts and everything. So they have reminder systems now, like you get your little texts and you get your little notices. Don't forget you got to go to your arraignment. So I thought that was kind of good. So, Chief, I did appreciate just being able to attend, but you are still my designee. Did that, and then I did Monday with the mayor, and Mr. Shelton always comes and visits me on Mondays with the mayor. I will not be there next Monday. Congressman. Councilmember Schaefer will be taking my place because I will be at a mosquito conference. I love mosquitoes. And then I had lunch with the mayor of Folsom. I went to San Diego last week for one day to collect an award on behalf of the Sac Sewer District. We got a silver award from the American Society of Civil Engineers for our Echo Water project, the sewage treatment plant in Elk Grove. And it was a great honor to be the silver. The gold went to a bridge in Los Angeles, which was a bridge, but it had a lot of more people interactive, bike trails and whatever else was. Did a closed session that we had yesterday. Was that yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I went to the mosquito meeting. It's winter time. There's not too much happening with the mosquitoes. That's why we can have our conference. I also went to the chamber lunch. Our Assemblyman Hoover was our speaker. Hopefully he's going to get us or help us get some dollars for something. Went to a sewer meeting today. Nothing really to report. It was a short agenda, like a half-hour, 45-minute meeting. And so, other than that, that's it. Exhausted. My calendar's full. That's all I know. Okay, so do we have another item?
Our next item is the consent calendar. We have item 6, the approval of minutes. Item 7, the utility locating and marking services, professional services contract award. Number 8, the Transportation Development Act funding claim authorization.
Does anyone wish to remove any item for discussion or questions? I want to take item 8 out for 1 second. And the reason I'm taking out item 8, which is the Transportation Development, TDA funding, is I want to compliment staff on a great staff report. You know, this is like TDA for dummies. And so when read the report, and it exactly explains where all these funds come from, how they get there, how they're calculated, and to point out the importance of SACOG in determining the amount of money that Citrus Heights gets for transportation and bicycles and all the other stuff, and that we are based a lot on population. And so when people cheated on the census, I participated in the census. They gave me the people who locked their doors, all the COVID quarantines, all the people who are known to carry firearms, and so, be careful when you go up to their door. And so I could see where we missed out a lot on our census just in Citrus Heights, because I only worked Citrus Heights, and I had a list pages long of people who had not been able to, so you go to the neighbors, you try to figure out who's living in the house. But it's important that we do our census, that we're as accurate as we can be, because those dollars come on the basis of population. And so I just wanted to point out, the wonderful staff report that I had to suspect was Mary Poole's doing, and congrats on that. So with that, I'll move all the items.
Well, second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item passes.
Next item.
Okay. Next item is department reports, and we have none. Next item is city manager items.
Well, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. I do have a few city manager update items here for you in the community. One, we've heard a lot about a house on Cherry Glen that's been a code enforcement challenge for some time. And when the work on Auburn Boulevard Phase 2 got underway and there was some clearing done, it really exposed what's been a community eyesore. So pleased to report that that's being demoed now, and the eyesore is going to be removed. So just to stay in line with our CARES campaign, just glad to see that this is being removed, and looking forward to something that's a future contributor to the community versus something that detracts from the beauty of the city. So just wanted to give an update. We've heard about this in the past from a public standpoint.
Who's paying for the demo?
It's the owner.
Okay, great.
Also, Fill the Boot, Sac Metro Fire, actually the Firefighters Burn Institute, and they are a participant in that, do their boot drive safety fair. That'll be on Saturday, February 8th. It's at the traditional location of Sunrise Boulevard and Greenback Lanes from 10 to 1. There's also some ceremonial activities that happen with that we'll make sure to keep the council informed of. And then for Auburn Boulevard, I spoke to that first picture exposure happening when the clearing happened as we're doing this construction project. But this is a massive construction project, a big undertaking for our city. The community and the council are very familiar with Auburn Boulevard Phase 1, and the way the improvements have turned out there are really attractive, and we're looking forward to Phase 2 being completed. Right now, they're working through joint trench. Those are your dry utilities, if you will. That's going to be completed by the end of February. There's going to be installation in the new trench and that will basically provide completion for undergrounding those power lines that are currently above ground. So that'll be happening in March. And then the contractor will continue to finish up the underground utilities, and by fall of 2025, it'll be complete with respect to the undergrounding. So that's a big effort. It takes a lot of coordination with the different utility contractors, scheduling, so on and so forth. So a lot of work happening there throughout the summer. And then they'll continue to work on the roadway improvements, the traffic installations, as well as lighting. And it's going to really be celebrated with a new gateway arch, which we're really excited about as an entry point into the community. And that should all be complete by fall of 2026. So once this joint utility work is done, it'll be really focused on what we call the topside improvements thereafter. And all the different trees that are going to be installed out there, there's going to be a nice continuous tree canopy. And there's more of an orderly planting of the trees, some really great species that we have a lot of information on our website about this project too. So looking forward for this to be complete and help us attract new businesses to Auburn Boulevard. A couple of pictures here. And you can go see it firsthand out there too. And the businesses are open too, so please go and support the businesses. Went out there for lunch last week. It was easy getting in and out. And if there's ever a challenge with an entry point into a business, we want to hear about it because we have construction managers out there that are ensuring that we're keeping those accesses open. So if there's ever anything that's seen, I did hear about one of those recently, and we were able to rectify that very quickly. So please support those businesses as well. That concludes my comments.
Thank you, Mr. Feeney. Next item.
Next item is items requested by council members or future agenda items.
Anyone? You got it easy tonight. We're not complaining about anything. Next item.
The next item is adjourning to closed session for 2 items.
Do I have to bang the gavel and adjourn to the closed session?
Yes.
Adjourn to closed session. I'll be back at the end to report.